Misconception in my eyes would be that the Somali community are a threat. No, before Somali, we're Muslim, and Somali people.
Before Somali, we are Muslim. Therefore, you don't align with the values of the United States. You don't believe in borders. You believe Sharia should dictate the laws and rules of the United States, because how can a man-made constitution dictate what people do? Hi guys, this is Sahar TV, and in today's video, we'll watch Roca news going to the Somali capital of the United States, Minneapolis, or a neighborhood in Minneapolis that will blow your mind. Let's watch.
This right here is Minneapolis. Specifically, it's the Somali neighborhood within Minneapolis that has recently become controversial due to two figures. Congresswoman
Ilhan Omar of Minnesota.
Dumbing of the United States has arrived.
And mayoral candidate Omar Fateh.
Where Democratic Socialist State Senator Omar Fateh is now just 5 points behind Jacob Fry.
Minneapolis.
There may be no immigrant community in the nation more tied to its political leaders than the Somalis in Minnesota, so we decided to go past the clickbait and culture war and explore the community with curiosity.
That's what America stands for. Like, everybody's segregated in their own community.
But they're walking around in sandals in the winter, and you're just going, oh my God.
What's it really like? Do they love America?
Our children will take a gun to defend national interest of the United States.
Our journey took us to a massive open-air Somali mall, which a cop escorted us out of, to Omar Fateh's campaign HQ, to a studio where we interviewed Somalia's parliamentarian who actually lives in Minnesota. Come with us to Minneapolis.
We in Minneapolis, man. Murder-Appolis, bitch, get in tune.
That was not the greeting we expected when we pulled into Cedar Riverside.
Misconception in my eyes would be that the Somali community are a threat. No, before Somali, we're Muslim, and Somali people.
Before Somali, we are Muslim. Therefore, you don't align with the values of the United States. You don't believe in borders. You believe Sharia should dictate the laws and rules of the United States, because how can a man-made constitution dictate what people do? So if you are first and foremost Muslim and not American, that's a problem.
People that are real Muslims, that are on their deen and on their way, peaceful. 3 mosques just in walking distance right now as we speak, and it's so beautiful that you can just take your feet and just walk to the mosque. Everything's easy over here.
I asked Salim how he ended up in Minneapolis, and he told us that he was actually born in Kenya, which many Somalis fled to after its government collapsed in 1991.
Obviously, I'm an immigrant, but at the end of the day, this country welcomed me. For my family to thrive in this country, I'm glad and I'm thankful.
But Salim then fell into hot water in South Dakota, where he was charged for murder.
To this day, if you Google my name, Sioux Falls, you're gonna see murder. It's called defamation of character for real. I missed the birth of my niece.
Something you didn't do.
Something I didn't even do. Yeah. I feel like I got a little story to tell too. My name's Salim Muhammad, man, and I ain't not a murderer.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm glad at least you're out now, and hopefully you get justice.
Justice been served, but to who?
We left Salim and turned the corner where we saw the fire he referenced, and also tried to interview some locals. We're trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, we have a little fire.
No, I don't know. Do you know what happened here? I don't know. Well, do you know what happened here?
I don't know.
What surprised us was how many Somalis we met who moved to Minneapolis from other states. There's really been a second migration to Minneapolis for Somalis, first to America and then concentrating there. One of the Somalis who's done just that is Omar Fateh, who was born in DC.
Yo, Abdelkader Yassin, Team Kega, we need volunteers.
Today, nearly 100,000 Somalis live in Minnesota, and the majority of them are in the Twin Cities.
And I want to speak directly to the Somali community. Minneapolis is your city.
We are in Cedar Riverside, which is the Somali capital, not just of Minneapolis, but of the U.S. And right behind us are some of their apartment buildings. This is the sort of center of where the Somalis live. Now, 50% of the people in this neighborhood speak Somali, and we're talking to some of the residents. We then met the facilities manager of these towers, who's managed them for nearly 50 years.
But I've worked in it for 46 years.
How has it changed?
Just different immigrants.
So a lot of Somalis live here?
Yes. In fact, I think it's one of the largest populations in the cities. Yes, I think they do kind of stick to themselves, but I have a bunch of them that work under me, and they're pretty social. Some of the first ones came here, and I know it's a money issue, but they're walking around in sandals in the winter, and you're just going, oh my God. But they came here. Once they got established here, then they're just they follow each other. So they want to be with people that speak the same language, and it has changed a lot. There's several bars that used to have live music, the last of which just closed a few weeks ago, and the Somali East African people have been buying those buildings up for daycare centers, mosques, and various things. So the neighborhood's changed a lot. But
so what he's talking about is called the hijra. Hijra is it's actually translated to migration. It's exactly the same with what Muhammad did from Mecca to Medina. The thing that is actually expected from Muslims around the world is to go to Western countries and build infrastructure filled with mosques and madrasas and schools and all these things to accommodate more Muslims moving from different countries. That way, you slowly infiltrate from within. The community grows, more babies are born, and that's how you take over a Western society like this. You don't have to fight anybody. You just have to bring more babies. That's all.
I consider it an evolution.
This Omar Fateh, who's running for mayor, do you have an opinion on him?
Not a real positive one, but
You like Jacob Fry?
better than I like Omar.
Yeah. It was during this conversation that we actually saw Omar Fateh. Oh my goodness, I think that's Omar Fateh right there. We gotta go try to interview him. How are you? Nice to meet you. Hello. We didn't want to shove the camera in his face, so we asked him for an interview, then later implored his campaign team to talk to us. Unfortunately, no luck. Everywhere we looked in this area, we saw Omar Fateh signs, and his popularity has enraged the right, including Trump's deputy chief of staff, Stephen Miller, and other conservative voices who consider him a travesty.
Well, the Democrat Party has become a party that aids and encourages violence.
Fateh has indeed made a number of controversial claims.
The greatest domestic threat facing the United States comes from, quote, specifically those who advocate for the superiority of the white race.
But he's not the only Somali politician who's done that. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who's elected to Congress alongside AOC in 2018, has invited much controversy herself.
Our country should be more fearful of white men because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Yeah, there is nothing more up than to completely pretend that his words have not been recorded. These people are full.
What's the commonality of these two on camera right here? Guess. Both believe in Islamic ideology. You're right, 100%. And both doing taqiyya to lie about Islamic ideology, not wanting to spread and conquer and dominate over all other religions.
You know, I met the head of Somalia. Did you know that? And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back, and he didn't want to.
Now, while Somalis remain a minority in Minneapolis, Ilhan Omar and Fateh have both struck alliances with white progressives, making them a formidable force. But sometimes this alliance has proven unwieldy, like with gender ideology in schools. Somali parents demanded their kids be pulled out of gender classes. One mom told the school board, "We believe that we have a sacred obligation to teach the principles of our faith to our children without being undermined by the schools." This caused one school board member to cry and tell the Somali women that the queer community has been so good to them. We kept walking around looking.
They don't believe in the queer community, in the LGBTQ plus HDMI nothing. They don't believe in them. So why do you think they use the progressive left to protect their movement, to protect their culture? Because they know the progressive left will call anybody that criticizes Islam an Islamophobe and a racist and a bigot. That's the way to grow, by not allowing anybody to criticize you.
For interviews, and then stumbled upon an 8th grader playing basketball on one of its courts. You want to play one-on-one? Yeah. No, we're cutting that. You get it back. Or no. Hit 3? No. Bro, you just winded the hell out of me. How do you like living here?
It's good, but it's still dangerous. I mean, because if you look online, it's gonna say there's like a lot of crime and stuff, but it's really just chill out here. We have a lot of programs. At the Bronco, we have a basketball team. We have a soccer team as well. Yeah. It's like a regular neighborhood. We have a community and stuff.
What do you want to be when you're older?
A basketball player or a businessman.
You want to live here when you're older?
No, I want to move out soon. It's a good place if you want to come in like right now. Yeah, I speak Somali. Assalamu alaikum, broken news.
There we go.
Yeah, we love America. It's just like some stuff that Trump did before.
Not a big fan?
Yeah.
Boom! Woo. Bank's open, baby.
Okay.
Hey, let's go, hubby.
But Cedar Riverside is not like what they show online. If you actually come here, like during the summer, there's kids outside, uncles, aunts. We have a local mosque. We pray. It's like a good place. I have one older sister.
How many kids are in most families?
3, 4.
Do you view Somalis and blacks as differently?
Maybe just skin color. Black.
Yeah.
It was touching to meet a kid from the next Somali generation like Abdi and to humanize the Somalis in a way they often aren't. But the cultural differences, some argue, are too difficult to ignore. The Cedar Riverside neighborhood has changed enormously in recent years.
All right, so you'll see a ton of now closed businesses in this neighborhood, like this bar here. So there are a bunch of bars that have closed down. This used to be a Scandinavian neighborhood, and now because of the Somali majority population, they don't make as much sense.
But it wasn't just...
Why don't they make sense? Because under Islam, drinking alcohol is haram. You're not allowed to drink. So when you have more Muslim people living in your town, that means less drinkers, less potential customers. That's why you have to close down. It just makes sense. So now imagine the same thing if the majority of the people in the United States are going to be Muslim. What then? Are we going to have all bars closed? Are you not going to be allowed to drink beer or whiskey or your champagne? That's going to be the case?
In Cedar Riverside that the Somalis live. We next visited the massive open-air Somali mall just a few miles away where we had a little snag. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe.
Subscribe to them. They're awesome. They're a great channel. Subscribe to them.
The world without bias or fear, and these kind of videos bring that mission to life. The right want to make Somalis look bad. The left want to elevate them. We try to just hold a mirror. If you support that mission, hit subscribe. Now back to Minneapolis.
All right, so we're pulling up on the Somali mall in the area, the Carmel Mall, which is the largest Somali mall.
The Carmel Mall was massive. These shots simply don't do it justice, and this footage probably won't do the overwhelming sense of alienation we felt inside it justice either.
All right, so we're gonna go inside the Carmel Mall, which is fashioned after an open-air Somali bazaar. There's a fashion store here, some jewelry, totally different style of mall here. You get the henna stand over here. The scale of this mall is enormous. It makes sense that there are about 80,000 Somalis in Minnesota.
Wow.
The vast majority of whom are in this area. So right at the end of this mall, by the way, you have a mosque.
Within our community, we usually send money back home to the less fortunate.
So up there they have a money place you can send back?
Right there.
All right, so this is what he's talking about in the front, a place where you can easily send money back home or wherever.
Roughly 40,000 Minnesotans were born in Somalia, so many are still in close touch with their families back home. The link between Somalia and Minnesota can't be overstated. The president...
Wait, just a second. Why do Somalis send money back to Somalia? I thought it's supposed to be America first, right? And then you criticize AIPAC, which is a bunch of American Jews caring about the interest of their Jewish homeland. So what would you say about these Somalis sending money back home? They should care about America's interests first, no? Am I wrong? But I'll include the link to the full video down below so you can watch the full thing on their channel. They work really hard on their videos. I don't want to take away views from their hard work, so it's going to be included down below so you can watch it. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that there's not nice Somali people or Somali people that want to integrate or Somali people that want to leave their history behind and they want to become American and go based off of American values. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you bring a bunch of people from a different country that doesn't share the values of Americans because they believe in Islam and Islam does not believe in the westernized values that you believe in. They simply don't believe that a man-made constitution can dictate to you what you do or what you don't do. It's only the laws of Allah, Sharia. Here's a nice video idea. If you actually go to these Somali people and ask them, what do you prefer? Living under the Sharia or living under the American Constitution? What do you think they will say? Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. If you'd like to watch more of my stuff, please check out my channel down below. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time I upload new content. If you'd like to support me and the channel financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the links below. Also, we now have a Discord that you can join down in the link below. And now you can become a YouTube member and enjoy specific YouTube perks. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.